Hey y'all, welcome to another episode, but make it books. I'm one of your hosts, Niccara.
And I'm Brandon.
And welcome as we gauge in another day, life, week, whatever, of bookishly healing through life.
Moment to moment. I'm going to say moment, another moment.
Yeah.
Because I feel like life's very moment to moment these days. Not to jump into the check-in part with some no, I mean, yeah, so.
Yeah, so as we start all things, how are you?
Good. It's so, no, all right. So funny because a friend asked me the other day, she was like, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm good. It was on the phone so she could hear that I'm good, right? She was like,
you ain't really good?
She was like, are you good, like good, or are you good because Brandon always says it's good? I said, yes. She said, okay, just asking. I was like, all right. And it's very true. It's like,
yeah.
I always, but it's like even if right now it's not, I know I will be. So it's very much like claiming it and all that stuff. While simultaneously, like I said, moment to moment, like just gotta take it moment to moment.
Do we just say we're good because we don't want to overburden people, or we don't want to think about why we're not good?
No, I think for me, I'm certainly always thinking about why I'm not good. Kind of always. Okay. Not burdening people is certainly a thing. Yeah. It's certainly a thing. It's certainly a thing for me for sure. And yeah, that's something. Unburdening myself of that feeling is certainly a process. But yeah, no. Yeah,
that's real.
How are you? Or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm good. I'm getting better. It's been a rough, 2-ish weeks. I've shared with you, my friend recently passed away from a boating accident. And I was talking to my friend yesterday, and he said something that I put in perspective. And I was like, wow, that's real. That he died doing something he loved. And we should all be that blessed. Yeah. That we get to live our life fully, and that when we do leave this plane, because eventually it will happen, we end up doing, we do everything we say we want to do, and live life to the fullest. So I'm getting better. Yeah, getting better.
There you go. Boom.
Getting better. What did we decide to name the icebreaker? Is it a snowball?
Snowball. Maybe,
okay. Yeah. A Be More snowball, egg custard with marshmallow on top and the bottom. I actually really need one. Yeah. Because I haven't had one all summer yet.
Yeah.
And that's an atrocity.
Yeah. Because
I live next to Ice Queens.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's also dangerous. Yeah. I mean, in a way,
Yeah. And the local oyster just opened up near my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So... It's giving broke girl season. It's giving broke girl season.
I'm seeing it's giving big plans season. Like she got.
Yeah. She got plans.
It's giving. She got things to do. You know what I mean?
She got things to do.
She's got things.
She's
to do.
left-handed all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, no. Yeah, no. It's definitely. I say it's cup of ice season. Like I always I got one.
Oh, I love a cup of ice.
You know what I mean? I love a cup of ice. It's just
what's wrong with us?
Sit
on the porch, crunching your ice.
Don't let it be good ice too. But anyway,
like the chipped ice from Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
That's some good ice.
Some Chick-fil-A. Well,
I hate filet.
I'd go for Sonic. I gotta go.
That's
Sonic,
fair.
yeah.
But the only Sonic we have is under Owens Mills.
That's true.
There
are a lot. Look, I don't want to get there's we also don't have a Waffle House anywhere near here, and the number of times that I'm
it's far. It's like near Hagerstown.
And I grew up where a Waffle House is around the corner.
I do love a Waffle House.
I went to college, a Waffle House around the corner. It's this is what I'm saying. There are a lot of places that we should have things, but we don't have things.
Yes.
White supremacy.
Real. So we're talking about today her book is Black Buck. So for the icebreaker, his start in all of this was as a barista. So what is your go-to drink? If you had all the time and money in the world, what would be your go-to coffee drink and made? Go.
I mean, I'm drinking it right now, a black iced coffee.
That's no fun.
I know it's no fun.
That is basic.
Because, here's the thing. I done crossed 30 now. And so my system be like, you want what?
Right.
And so it's even I could add some oat milk to this. That sounds great. But
so I'm just gonna be the one with the very complex bougie order.
Once upon a time, it would have been something like Once upon a time, it'd have been like a frappuccino for sure
with a cookie straw,
like a cookie, but the Biscoff cookies.
Yes,
I want specifically like a cookie butter frappuccino. Oh. So because
that's good.
I think somebody used to do it. Hold on.
Look, see what happens? That's the devil. So I'm just joking, y'all.
Telling me get that taste out your mouth. Right. Don't even talk about it. I'm trying to tell you, see what I mean? Don't even talk about it. No, but because we used to do these at the this place I used to work at in New York. It was like a dessert shop, and we used to make these milkshakes that was like that, and they were so good. But then Starbucks, I think, or somebody started doing their version of it, and it's just like, so like a cookie butter, like extra caramel, extra whip type situation once upon a time. You know what I mean? But like these days, it's like, I can't. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I drink it cold more than I maybe should. I should probably drink more hot drinks too.
I love a hot drink. Yeah. Even in the summer. I'm like, I want to die. Oh. I want to sweat. I like to sweat. It's good.
Yeah.
For me, the best coffee I've actually had was, there's this place, Cafe de Leon in Canton, and they have the best crab egg sandwich. Also, it's quite lovely. But they make the best mocha, like white chocolate mocha and dark chocolate mocha, and they shave the chocolate on top. Yeah, and I get it with oat milk.
Yeah,
and it's so good. But if I had my dream drink, and sometimes I make them at home, I love a good like oats, lavender, honey situation with like cinnamon on top.
Yeah,
that's good. Or like I just had the best chai latte at Couples Tea.
Yeah,
and it kept me up all day, better than some coffee, and with oat milk. And she put the cinnamon on top, and then she had like a strawberry like cookie off to the side, and like the strawberry like cream in the middle. Oh.
It's art. You could do like some real stuff with it. It really is a skill set.
It is a skill set.
Like I've seen some stuff and have worked and all this stuff. No,
I want to learn though. Yeah. Like how to like really, really do it. Yeah. I'm gonna learn.
And even then, it's like for me, it's also like I like to act like I don't have a sweet tooth, but I do have a sweet tooth. But also some stuff just be too sweet. Like some stuff's like, even if it's not a lot of sugar in it, it just feels like it's too sweet. Yeah. And so sometimes having to explore that
levels of sweetness.
You know, it's like how sweet. You know, because I apparently like stuff bitter because I drink dark black iced coffee all the time. So I like that little bittersweet moment too. I love Thai iced tea, but like if that's too sweet, it's like I'm happy I have this.
So do you like bubble tea?
I love bubble tea.
Okay. Yeah. So then you do like sweet stuff.
But like I do like, it's so funny because Dominique asked one of the booksellers here asked she like Grubhubbed or something some boba tea, and she said, what do you want your level of sweetness to be? And I said, oh, what are the levels? She was like 10%, 50%. She said 10%, 50%, 80%, 100%, and 150%. Those are the levels of sweetness that you could get from this place. I said 10%. Like, you know, so it's like I definitely like cut, like, because even that sometimes it's like, or it's most of the time it's perfect. Like it's just enough. Like, you know, those little sugar packets, I'll take a fourth of that sugar packet and that's enough for me. It's wild. Like I don't know. Yeah.
So now you guys know me and Brandon's like very extensive drink orders.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched alcohol yet. No. Like what we like to drink.
Oh, see, even that is very classic for me, like simple classic. But yeah.
Yeah. See, we're gonna get into this all the entire day, and we'll never get to the book.
Right.
So, Black Buck is one of my favorite books I read in the past like 2 years. And I loved it because of its complexity. So before I dive in deep, the way that this book is described is for fans of Sorry to Bother You in The Wolf on Wall Street, a crackling satirical debut novel about a young man given a shot at stardom as the lone black salesman at a mysterious cult-like and wildly successful startup where nothing is as it seems. An unambitious 22-year-old Darren lives in Bed-Stuy Brownstone with his mother, who wants nothing more to see him live up to his potential as the valedictorian of Bronx science. But Darren is content working at Starbucks in the lobby of a midtown office building, hanging out with his girlfriend, Soraya, and eating his mother's home-cooked meals. All that changes when a chance encounter with Rhett Daniels, the silver-tongued CEO of Swam One NYC's hottest tech startup, results in an exclusive invitation for Darren to join an elite sales team on the 36th floor. So I'm going to stop there because it goes into more descriptions about the novel. But all in all, why I love this book is because if you saw the documentary on Hulu about how WeWork got started, that's a little bit about it. If you like Sorry to Bother You, if you like Wolf of Wall Street, if you go in with that mentality of this book, I think it's very real. And I do want to talk about content today. Because I'm not going to give up the book, but at the end of the book, ambition, very much in Wolf of Wall Street and Sorry to Bother You, kind of leads your main characters into a place of like, was ambition worth it? So, is ambition worth it? That's my first question.
Shout out to Baltimore.
Yeah, with the sirens.
That's so wild because like my friend and I, the same friend that checked on me, on me. We also, but there's been some conversations between the two of us about like ambition. Yeah. And I think that we are both, I think even in those conversations, we're in different spaces and with the term a little bit. So I'll say that for me, having recently had a conversation around this, I'm in a place where I think that there is a major overall shift happening in the world in general in terms of the underlying roots. Like we're all realizing that this stuff goes so much deeper than what we think. Not we're all. A lot of us are realizing and more. And I think ambition is another one of those roots in this capitalistic white supremacist society that we constantly come back to because it's constantly everywhere. Yeah. Why are we like I remember so specifically, little teachings for like, idle hands at the devil's workshop that were like told me from young age. So at that young age, I'm already like, and it's not just, clean up up after, you make a mess. It's
always in the constant act of doing something.
I grew up, I have two siblings. I had two siblings from my dad's marriage. I am my parents' only child. Right. And so I grew up in a very single mother and only child type of environment. And I was always well supported and taken care of and looked after. But I also had to learn quickly how to do that for myself as like, a man child, as they would call it. But like as a person and an individual, because like, my mother raised a kid, held down a house, held down 2 jobs, went to school and did ministry. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's ambitious. That's living and that's making stuff happen. But she didn't have to commit to ministry the way that she did. Yeah. She didn't have to go to school the way she did. She had to take care, she had to take care of the child, but in a way she also kind of didn't have to do that either. Like there were so many things that you didn't have to do, but that ambition to continue on to make a better life than what you have or what you had and so forth, or just something better or different or altogether more secure. That's what I feel like kept a lot of her driving on because she also did these things for herself as well. Like my mother is like, I did this for me. She's the one, and it's like, I stand a queen like that, being those two types of people, but like also being born and coming up under, again, this society. How else could you have been in some ways, I question, So I feel like I have my connection still with ambition, but like I am asking that question now. How else could I be? And I feel like that's where I'm at in my life now. It's like, I have drive. I'm definitely a driven person, but what am I driving for? You know what I mean?
Are you driving for yourself, or you're driving for what your mother did for you when she's telling you, I'm doing this for me? And I think for Darren in this book, he was doing a lot of the things for his mother because he was in what people in the neighborhood expected him to be. Like, he lives in Brooklyn, so if folks are from Brooklyn or familiar with Brooklyn or familiar with any like very close-knit community like that, because New York is so big, but it is so small. When I lived there, I would see the same people all the time. And so I think about seeing people in your neighborhood or your block or people who look up to you and you're supposed to be the valedictorian. People have all these hopes and dreams and things you could accomplish. But what he wanted to do was just be a barista. But then this opportunity falls into his lap. He feels like, who am I to not take it? But I think about in this book, and when you guys read it, the twists and turns of what it takes is like, did he ever really need to do that? So it's just very interesting in this book. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is being one of one in a space. I've been that in school. Yeah. I've been that at work, and the pressure of what it takes to be one of one, and like the pressure you put on yourself and the pressure that is put on around you and the things that you have to swallow when it comes to being one of one of your group, especially when you're a Black person or person of color or person different.
Yeah, any otherness.
Any otherness than white. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to talk to you about that. Have you ever felt like the way Darren felt, like having to take stuff that you didn't know that you were supposed to take, dealing with the hell week he went through? Have you ever had that in your life?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how did you deal with it? Would you still deal with it now, having the wherewithal now at this age, in this mindset? Would you still do what happened?
It's wow.
That's a very loaded question.
But
that's why I love this book.
In a way, I feel like maybe I compartmentalize it too much, but like I do sort of feel like the scenario and the people play a big part in it for me. Like one big part of that was like definitely in like the workforce, specifically in the culinary workforce for me. And it was just one day I was just like, you know what? No. Yeah. I was like, no means no. And what was wild was it came as like a gift. The moment was like, do you here's an opportunity for you to continue on this path. Yeah. And I said, I don't know if I want to continue on this path. Yeah. And then I was like, and it actually doesn't have anything to do with this place here. Yeah. It has something to do with the larger institution. Yeah. And I don't think I want to be a part of that. Mm. But then there are things where it's like, I think, growing up, being a young Black man, what is expected of that, being like the firstborn, being the only, there is so much unspoken expectation there, and which is like wild because it's like, it's not spoken, so naturally we don't speak about it, right? But then like when you are in tune with emotion as well as societal issues as well as how we got here, quite literally you start to see like the stepping stone as you get back, and then there's always like a part where you hit a block because we can go back, but there's we can't ask this person from way back or there's just so many things that's like I am working through the things that like intersect. Like I do want to be that person. I do feel that for my life as well. What I am finding is that it looks and is very different in a lot of different ways. And then I'm also finding new realizations about myself, like all the time, like as an adult. So even that is like, that's how that's showing up now versus as a kid, and all that stuff. So I'm still in this process of like releasing myself of any expectation of my life, regardless of where it came from. Yeah. Because every day I'm shown something different. I'm shown something else. I'm shown something new. So yeah,
I mean, I feel that same way. I've been calling my process of doing what you're talking about, this healing of unburdening. Yeah. I'm in the process of unburdening myself, and I've just had a recent conversation with two of my really good girlfriends about exceptionalism. And the guys that we have been put under. And it's not really a guise, right? I think being Black in America, we've only had the ability, not the ability, but the only expectation is exceptionalism. And so when you work under that for so long, since we touched down in this place called America, we've always been under hardworking conditions. We gonna make a way out of no way. We gonna figure it out. We gonna eat mentally and physically. We're gonna eat and really finding a way out of no way, where everything we do is exceptional because we had no choice but to be exceptional. So it's just ingrained in our DNA because it's passed on to us. So although it's powerful to be exceptional, it's also trauma in that need to be always exceptional. The thing is, I walk out the room and I'm exceptional. And having to prove my humanity with exceptionalism is something that I resonated so much in Black Buck, and I'm like, he was exceptional in his own right, being a valedictorian of his school. But why isn't it an exceptional that he's at Starbucks making these really cool crafty drinks? We don't know where that could have led him. And so what I ask everyone, I was speaking to Black folks, but I'm speaking to everybody now. Let go of that idea of exceptionalism. And that's what that book really taught me, because I was like, I've been baking and always being, I have to do the most, be the best. Because if I fuck up, excuse my language, y'all. I mean, if you're in the car with kids, I'm sorry. If I mess up, then that means I'm closing the ladder, kicking the ladder under me for somebody else to come up. So I have all the weights and expectations of every single Black woman, every single Black person on my back that nobody asked for but me. But that is our community, right? We've been ingrained that you got to think about everybody else. And so, whew, that was a lot. No, and I'm not trying to get emotional, but that almost made me like get to the point of tears. Because I'm like, wow.
That's real.
Nobody puts that on us but us.
That's us. I feel like it is the us as in like the village us.
Yes,
like
the village us.
You know? Like it is like individual, yes, but in the individual sense, yes, but also in the village. Because like if this is how you're being trained and reared and indoctrinated and all these words, you know, it takes so much effort to break through even that. And that comes from your neighbors, your family, your siblings. Like it comes from family. You know, it comes from like your play cousins. Like it comes from all. Like, it's all, like, that, you know, that village thing is, like, a big part of that.
Which is beautiful.
It's amazing.
Because individualism will never get us far, right? Like, COVID taught us that. And so what, I don't want anybody to misconstrue what we're saying, that you should not bake into your village. What I am saying is that if it does not work for you, you're doing things out of the need to show up for folks that is at the harm of what you truly want in your spirit. Let that go. Because money, someone told me this a while ago, money will always find its way to you if you're doing something that you love. And I used to think that was a bunch of malarkey. But one of my friends, who's an amazing artist, her name is Timbita Solomon, and she goes by AKA Trap Bob. She's like a huge artist in DC. She's tons of things, and she went to Maryland. She was a business major, and then she became an artist with her business major. I was like, how you gonna eat? Because that's how we all grew up. Like, if you an artist, you're struggling. But she has made a way of herself that is not like foreign. She's done it because of the guide of her family and herself and the tenacity of what she wanted to bake into her dream, and now she's happy. So what I learned out of Black Buck is happiness. Follow your happiness, because when you don't follow your happiness, you might end up in a situation that you can't get yourself out of.
Yeah, for sure. I just want all of us to be happy, because how many of us, like, our family gave up so many, like, so much potential but they were raised to go to work and get a job, meet the man, have the kids, take care of the house. Like, it's like so much of that traditional mentality. It's like the opportunity to explore any of those gifts, because it's so interesting, because we had business of theater in school because we had to learn how to make a business of our art. We had to, because otherwise how are you eating? Like, and so it's like, you know, and that is an investment, right? So I'm thinking about how many people in my life didn't get the opportunity, or felt like they didn't have the opportunity to actually invest in themselves. And that's that's like the village part for me. It's like, how do we all, like, again, like, it was us that got us here, so how do we get us out of here?
Yeah.
You know, that's a big part of it. Yeah.
So, I know we're about to run up on time.
We're almost close to time. Yeah, no, it is like, it was, yeah, I don't know.
I want to hear your thoughts
yeah,
on
I know.
Black
I'm trying to
Buck. That's why I'm looking
final...
at you. You knew I was going to look at you. Because I know you are, now you're here on my side.
No, I mean, I definitely always enjoyed, I think I wanted to, I don't know what it was about this book that, like...
What did you want out of more of it?
I think ultimately I think I needed to come to terms with how much I have in common with the protagonist.
And that is hard.
Yeah. I think
that's most people's struggle.
Yeah.
Except for the other part of it where people are uncomfortable at how much he dealt with. But bake into that, I don't want to cut you off. So go back to you having something in common with him.
Well, no, because it is like, and as I was sitting there, like, getting ready and, like, skimming through it, and, like, you know, I'm one of those people who highlights and writes and dog. I'm sorry if you're a purist, but
I'm a little bit of one.
You know, I'm shanked you just like that. No, it's like
in my heart.
No, but it was just like, you know, I don't know. I read it when I got here, and I think I was shifted into a place. Had shifted into a place that was very different from that because I had been there, and I think I was just trying to, like, close the door and let it be closed. And so as I was going back through that, I was like, oh, there's a reason I highlighted that line. Oh, there's a reason I dog tagged that page. It's like, okay. And so it's like, I feel like where I'm at right now is I want to give it a real good, proper reread. And like a full... In a healed space. You know what I mean? You know, in a healed space, for sure. Because it was like, I mean, I just enjoyed the New York of it, too. It's like, because I stayed in 4 of the 5 boroughs. And Brooklyn was my favorite by far.
Ooh, Bed-Stuy. I go to Peaches. Oh my God. I've had some times in Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, I mean, Bed-Stuy, and, like, I live right off the Marcy stop for a little while. And for some reason made my way out to Brownsville, which is an experience. Yes. I was out East New York. Like, I mean, New York. I mean, truly shout out to New York being, like...
It's a beautiful place.
The amazing, beautiful place that it is, all regardless of your borough. You know, it's like everywhere, because, you know, it's hardcore. So I'm not putting down nobody. I also had an amazing time in Jamaica, Queens. That train just take forever.
It do.
That train just take forever.
Well, Harlem ain't the same no more, but Harlem used to be my spot.
Harlem's pretty lit.
Spanish Harlem, it's not the same no more.
Yeah.
They done try to gentrify. They call it Hall.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the...
Northern Harlem?
Yeah, man. No.
Abbreviations are unneeded.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's funny because you get that little touch of like, you know, I've been here a little bit. I'm going to say, I don't live in Harlem. I live in Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you start to claim your little
space.
Your
little place. You're like, all right.
Boy, take your butt back to Richmond. Relax.
I live above Lenox or below Lenox. It's hilarious. I mean, when I read it, I was in a different space. It brought me back to places and spaces I've been at in my career. And reading this is like, it took me back to a place, and I think about, would I ever put myself in that position again now that I know what I know? And the answer is hell no.
Yeah.
Resoundingly. I do not need to approve my humanity or my place or why I'm here to anybody ever again. And I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. Minimize myself, make myself feel uncomfortable, switching my hair, not wearing braids, wearing braids, and like what that meant me going through this mental gymnastics of what I'm going to do with my hair. We'll never do that shit again. I will never, ever do it again. But Black Buck reminded me of how many people who still have to do it again. Yeah. And what that means. And so it was funny. It was funny to me. It was funny, because that was, y'all gotta read it. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Y'all gotta read it.
Definitely wrecked. Obviously, we made a whole pod about it. You know what I mean? But it's, you know, I hope you guys get those moments to like look inside and see where you've been doing that for people. Yeah. And stop. So
we only win if we're like fully and authentically ourselves.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, we can only win if we're fully and authentically. Authenticity.
Yes, is the key. Major key alert.
And with that, let's go.
Yes.
Let's wrap up this episode of But Make It Books. It was great talking with you about this one. Yes. You can find this book here at Charm City Books, of course. Please, please, please like, comment, share, subscribe. We have some really cool things coming in the future. So please make sure that you're caught up with it. That way you can be in the midst and with the people. Yes. Any other news updates, anything like that?
No, just enjoy the summer, y'all. Like, live your life. Take a walk outside. Take a walk on the wild side. Listen to Janelle Monáe's new album, Age of Pleasure.
Listen to it.
Okay, we stand. I already got the tickets. Let's go. Like,
listen to
we are in the age of pleasure, my friends.
It's so good. It's so. All right, we should wrap up.
Yeah, we should.
All right. Thank y'all so much. And remember, as always, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Niccara.
And until we see you next time, continue to heal through your life, but make it bookish.
Peace, y'all. Hey y'all, it's Niccara. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. If you like it, please make sure you review, rate, and subscribe to our podcast. Of course, sharing is caring, so make sure you share with your friends and let everyone know to come into Charm City Books to get our recommendations. And thank you so much for listening again, and I'll see y'all. Be good.